when it was the devil, they were not ashamed, because that is what the devil wants. So you may hear a lot of messages from renowned preachers say that those who preach about dressing, they don't really have a message. That's why they're preaching about dressing. Somebody can dress whatever way the person wants. It's the heart. Okay, I want to make this very clear. Even in the Bible, there are sins that are regarded as public sins, public sinners, like tax collectors, prostitutes, maybe criminals. These are public sins. And then these public sins are meant for societal reprimand, societal judgment and all that. Whatever you do in private, that is your own. It's between you and your God. They are termed public sins because they tend to become a societal trend. Now, sin becomes a trend through these public sins. That is why it is taken seriously. What you do in public affects others. That means that it must be talked about. Okay, so I want to make you understand that this dressing issue is a very serious thing. In the presence of God, proper dressing is expected. In the Garden of Eden, in Genesis 3:10, when God was looking for Adam, Adam said, "When I heard your voice, I hid because I was naked." God does not accept nakedness in his presence. So if you allow people to come to your fellowship, to your church, to your ministry, dressed anyhow they like, dressed half naked, dressed in a demonic way, and then you say it doesn't matter, it means that God is not there. Wherever God is, people fear, people have reverence. So when you remove God from church, people can come to church naked. I don't know if you're following what I'm saying. The presence of God makes somebody who is indecent to hide, and that is why it is expected that those who are indecent, they go to clubs, they go to parks, they go to beaches, they go to parties, orgies, where people of like-mindedness are. They're not expected to be seen in church, because anybody who is not properly dressed naturally runs away from God. So God himself dressed Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. God dressed Aaron and his own family as priests. God is interested in dressing. Why shouldn't we? Save for people who are strangers in the house of God, or first-timers, or newcomers, or just repented. They can dress and come that way. But if they continue to dress that way, it means that there is absence of God in our midst. So if people are if your family members, your children are comfortable to dress half naked or naked before you, it means that you are not in charge of that home as a father or as a mother. If you allow it, it means that God is not part of your home. You are not in charge of that home. If your family respect you, they will dress properly before you. If your children respect you, they will dress properly before you. Some women will say, my husband is not complaining, so I can dress the way I want. The only place that nakedness is permitted is between husband and wife, between them. The Bible says in the same Genesis that Adam and Eve, they were naked, but they were not ashamed. But when it was not the two of them, when it was God, they became afraid, they became ashamed, they hid. That is because they were husband and wife. Apart from that, nakedness is not permitted anywhere. It is not a Christian culture. So therefore, it must be condemned. It must not be encouraged. Any place of worship where people are encouraged or permitted to dress half naked or even naked, it is a sign that God is not in that meeting. How do people dress in your meeting? You as a pastor or a man of God, how do people dress when they are coming to you? All this determines the presence that is in you. So let us remove the devil, because Eve stood before the devil naked, but she could not stand before God naked. So let us remove the devil from our meetings, from our fellowship, from our family, from our churches, from our society, by dressing decently and properly.
The battle is over. Jesus has won. The race is